ma'am.
Okay, let's start now. So, in previous classes, we have discussed about the concept region, regionalization, then regionalism. Also, we have discussed, and what are the types of regionalism, that also we have discussed. Okay, so next we will discuss about what schemes of regionalization. That is your block two. You can go through that one. Block two. I think you all have notes. Yes or no? Means study material.
Yes, ma'am. Online through online only. Online PDF we are having.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So you can go through that PDF also. So now we will discuss block two. That one is in block two. Schemes of regionalization is there. The concept is schemes of regionalization. Okay. So already we have discussed what is the meaning regionalization. Anyone please tell me what is the meaning regionalization? What is the meaning regionalization? No idea.
Ma'am, it's a process towards the means reason to regionalization. It's a process, ma'am.
Yes, it's a process, but through this process, what we are doing actually,
It
dividing
lands the region
larger regions into
into smaller one.
huh, smaller one or smaller parts. Okay, but here it is saying about schemes of regionalization. Then what is the schemes of regionalization? Any idea? Schemes of regionalization, when we are talking, then it refers to the methods or approaches used to divide geographical areas into distinct regions or different regions. Okay, so in this schemes of regionalization, what we will discuss? We will discuss about the methods or approaches used to divide geographical areas into distinct regions. Okay, so based on various criteria, we can or the geographers, they have done regionalization. Those criteria are like physical features, economic characteristics, as well as cultural attributes or administrative boundaries. Okay, so these are the criteria or these are the indicators through which geographers they have done regionalization in India. So next, what these schemes helps in organizing and understanding spatial pattern and relationship and differences within and between regions. So these regionalization scheme. Why this one is this regionalization? Why this one is necessary? Because through this regionalization only we can understand. We are understanding the spatial pattern. Then what is the spatial pattern? Any idea? Spatial pattern means what? Means distribution of objects as well as any features or any geographical phenomena across space. That is what spatial pattern. So through this regionalization, what we are doing, understanding spatial pattern as well as relationship or differences and differences within and between regions. Okay. Next, next come to the unit, first unit of this block. Here it is written that actually regions they are changing with the passage of time. Regions of India means their shape and size, they are changing with the passage of time through human activities as well as natural factors. Okay, so human activities play a bigger role in these changes than the natural factors. ଯେମିତି କାଲି ଆମେ discussion କରୁଥିଲେ in forms of regionalism. Okay, some of the sectionism or some of the sectionists are there, they're demanding what separate country. Some of the what union territories are they are demanding separate means they are demanding state autonomy. Okay.
Statehood.
Yes, so human activities play a bigger role in this changes than the natural factors. Then what are natural factors? Any natural factors through which regions are changing? Hmm? Any idea?
Global warming.
Global warming. Okay.
Yeah.
Then anything else? Flood.
Tectonic plate changes.
Yes, tectonic plate changes, flood. Then increase in delta regions or decreasing in delta shape and size of delta regions. Okay, so some natural factors are also there and some human factors are also there which are changing the regions, their shape as well as their size also. Okay, next one is what we know that India is a mosaic region. When we were discussing about what diversity of India, there we have seen that India is a mosaic region, and that leads to changes in the regional structure of any area. Within this geographical boundary, India's geographical boundary, we can see changes of regional structure due to what its vastness as well as its diversity. Because of this diverse characteristics of India, we can see also changes. Okay, then another thing is what uh, we can see physical and cultural regions are interconnected. In India, physical and cultural regions are interconnected. Here also we can see some changes. We can discuss like geographic features influence cultural development over time and space. And this transformation is dynamic and ongoing. So, cultural factors are also responsible for changing in regional structure of India. Okay, so India has two types of regions. One is what physiognomic, and another one is physiological regions. Okay, these are two terms we have to remember. One is physiognomic, another one is what physiological regions. Then what are these two terms? Physiognomics means what? Formal region. That already we have discussed. Physiognomic is what? Formal regions. Another one is what? Physiological. Physiological means functional regions. I think already we have discussed these two terms, formal regions as well as functional regions. Yes or no? So, formal regions are naturally defined like the physical boundary of India. Okay, and in means in north Himalaya mountain is there, but in south as well as in east and west ocean and sea are there. Okay, this is what formal region. Another one is what functional regions. These are shaped by administrative, political, economic, or demographic, or we can say sociological processes. These are what? These are functional regions. So India is having two types of regions, physiognomic regions and also physiological regions. It means formal regions are there and functional regions are also there in India. Okay. Next, next one is what? we can see also ethnological changes. Ethnological changes also we can see in India, or we can notice in India how due to ethnological means what? Due to ethnic groups, some changes that are occurring due to ethnic groups. Okay, uh, it may be due to origin of any ethnic groups, or due to the distribution different sorry, due to uneven or unequal distribution of ethnic groups, or due to different characteristics of ethnic groups. Also we can see changes in regions, like migration from the northwest, that has significantly influenced and reshaped India's regional structure. Then we can see here, sorry, we can say that India reflects human diversity due to these continuous changes. Okay, so next we will discuss about what regionalism and identification. Next one is what? Regionalism and identification. Already we have discussed this one in previous class about identification. How from one region that led to what? Not exactly region, any class, when they are getting emotionally touched with any place, they are then they are declaring that area as one region, and that region process again led to what? Regionalism, means ideology. And when region and ideology mixing, then what is happening there? Regionalization. They are demanding separate state, or they are demanding separate what? Separate any opportunities, or they are demanding freedom or autonomy. Okay, so people strongly identify with specific areas, forming psychic bonds, यानी कि deep emotions or spiritual connections between individuals. So in India we can see there are some macro regions and some meso regions, and also there are some micro regions, and these regionalization are done by different geographers differently. We will discuss those regionalization schemes given by different geographers in this block. So next we will discuss about understanding India's regional structure. Um, you just I have already told you, just go through the study materials that has been provided to you all. In section 5.2, here we will discuss about explores factors and means factors and processes influencing India's regional structure. What are the factors are there? What are the processes are there? Which are influencing or which are responsible for India's regional structure, that we will discuss in 5.2. And in section 5.3, we will discuss about genesis of regions from ancient to post-independence, the post-independence era, that we will discuss. So next we are coming to 5.2 section, which is related to factors and processes. Factors and processes which are influencing the regional structure of India. Um, so first we will discuss the geographic framework of before independence. One minute. So geographic framework before independence. Here we can see that for the first time, geographers initially viewed India's regional scheme based on physiographic factors. First, um, regionalization done on the basis of what? Physiographic factors. Then what is this physiography? Physiographic factors mean what? What are these physiographic factors? No idea. Means natural factors. So pre-independence regions were defined by topography and some regions are demarcated on the basis of religious composition, and also some regions are demarcated as British or princely administration. Okay, this was the situation before pre-independence, but when we are talking about post-independence regional identity, then after independence, regional identity focused on ethnicity or historical background, and also indigenous culture that are found in India. On the basis of that, or on the basis of these factors, regionalization has been done in India after independence. So next one is that challenges in identifying ancient regions. There were some challenges of identifying regions, especially of ancient period. What are the challenges then? Means identifying regions in ancient India is challenging due to the absence of records. There is no record of ancient India, so there is no proper evidence of ancient India's regionalization or ancient India's regions. Some of the names are written here for India. Those are Hepta Hindu, then Sapta Sindhu, Aryavarta, Hindustan. These are the terms which are used as the name of India. Okay, Hepta Hindu and Sapta Sindhu. Have you heard these terms before? Aryavarta. Kali kiye jane pacharthile why it is named as Aryavarta. Named
Yes,
was
yes.
Aryavarta.
I
Yes.
yes.
Yes, you are right. That Aryavarta, this is used as abode of Aryans. It means home of Aryans. Especially this one is, if we will see the present day India, then we can say northern India, northern part of India, that was called as Aryavarta. Okay, as what? Home of Aryans. Okay, or we can say land of the noble ones.
Yes.
Okay, then Hindustan. This is also one term which was used in the time of Akbar's reign. Okay, ruling period of Akbar. In that time also this word was used. So these are the terms. These are used not for whole India actually. These are the terms which were used for some part of India. Okay, next one is what here other things are also given. Those are used for India. The terms or the names are used for India. Those are Bharat, Aryavarta, Hindustan. Okay. Then also we can, um, if we will see historical diversity, means in ancient time there were also some of the regions which were named after clans, then religions, and also these are, sorry, they, those regions were named after ethnicities, cultures, or some regions where they are, which are named after their rulers dynasty, like Maurya dynasty, Gupta dynasty, as well as Mughal dynasty region. Okay, then some regions are also identified by the ruler's name, like Kalinga. So, and some distinct natural regions were also there. Um, as India is surrounded by mountains, deserts, and water bodies, and has a distinct natural region. And now we will discuss some of the factors which were influencing regional structure. Okay, factors which are influencing regional structure. Those are what? Why regions are changing, or the shape of size, the shape and size of regions are changing, or new regions are created by government because of the migration as well as wars, and also for invasion or conquest, and for explorations also. These are the factors for which regional structure of India is changing. Okay, and gradually what happens, due to technological advancement or trade and transportation, these are also what these are also the factors which are influencing or responsible for the change in the regional structure of India. Then next we will discuss about one minute. One minute. Um, the genesis we will discuss now. Genesis of regions. Then what is the meaning this genesis? What is the meaning of this term genesis? Any idea? Genesis means what? No idea. So here in this part we will discuss what genesis of regions. It means what? Beginning, genesis, or we can say what? Origin of something. So origin of regions or beginning of regions means the starting point of any process that we will discuss here. So first we will discuss from ancient period, or the time also it is given here, prehistoric to 700 AD. So people organized themselves based on clan or tribal territories. Okay, in the ancient period, uh, how regions were demarcated on the basis of their clan as well as tribal territories. Okay, before that, if we will discuss, then Homo erectus inhabited the planet around 1.8 million to 2 lakh years ago. Then with Homo sapiens appearing around 70,000 years ago. So, little bit history of human evolution is given here. Then various groups like Nagas, Santals, Bhils, Gonds, and Todas were spread across different regions of India. And we have already discussed that regions were demarcated on the basis of their clans and tribal territories in ancient time. But next, also they are classified as pre-Dravidians. These tribal groups were classified as what? Pre-Dravidians, and they used to speak Austric languages. But next, we will see also evidences here. One thing is given, that one is evidences of human activities. That is also found here with Paleolithic age and Mesolithic and Neolithic periods. Then what are these Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic ages? These are three periods or three ages um, which are written here.
Paleolithic is the oldest period, ma'am.
This one is oldest period, and already it is written here the time 2 million BC to 10,000 BC. Yes, that one is what lithos means stone. Okay, old stone is, this is the period of old stone age. Then about other periods are also given here. So so it is given here that there are evidences of human activities during Paleolithic and Mesolithic as well as in Neolithic periods. The Paleolithic sites are also found at Kaladgi Basin and Kaladgi Basin of Bagalkot district and in Karnataka, then Bhimbetka of Bhopal and Madhya Pradesh, then Hunsgi, that is present in Karnataka, then Kunnul Caves, okay, of Andhra Pradesh. So, in that time also, regions were demarcated or regionalization is, was there. Then, next, from Vedas as well as Purana or epics, from those also, from these texts also we can find some information about what regionalization that were there in ancient times. Then now we can say we can see initial settlements were in the valleys of northwest and the plains of Punjab, later moving to the Indo-Gangetic watershed. So for the first time, some of the initial settlements we can see in the western part of Punjab. It means it is talking about what? Um, the settlements that were flourished in the river bank of Indus. Okay, then these settlements were also developed in the river bank of Ganga also. Then people migrated for pastures and arable land and primarily engaged in cattle rearing. Okay, so these are some facts which are given here and which are related to regionalization process. Then how regions were started or originated, that also given here. Next one is what? Then some of the permanent settlements we can see which are led to geographical identities for clans or political organizations. Those are what? Janapadas as well as Mahajanapadas. So Mahajanapadas and Janapadas, these were also emerged around 6th century BC. And we can see 16, there are what? 16 Mahajanapadas which were listed in Buddhist text. So those are what? Already we have discussed in other in previous classes. The regions like Anga, Magadha, yes, Briji, Kasi, Koshala, Basta, Kuru. Okay, so these are also some regions or from these by seeing these Janapadas as well as Mahajanapadas, we can say regionalization was there in ancient time also. So next, we can see major empires and powers were also there, like various empires. Various empires were there, like Mauryan, Sunga Empire, Kanva Empire, Satabahano, then Parthians, Sakaj, Kusanaj, Cholaj, Cheras, Pandyas. They were also controlled different regions and at different times. So the spatial extent of major powers characterized by them into pan-India powers. Some of the pan-Indian powers also we can see. Those are like in the map, these are given. So some of the 6 powerful pan-Indian powers were given here. Mauryas, Guptas, then Tughlaqs, Mughals, Marathas, as well as Britishers. Then after that, regionalization we can mark on post-independence period also. Sorry, in medieval period, which is the time is given here from 780 to 1857 AD, which is known as medieval period. The time period is known as what? Medieval period. So here also we can see rise of regional kingdoms like Pratiharas or Chauhans, or Palas in North and Central India, and some of the invasion, as well as we can say territorial conquest also we can see by Muhammad of Ghazni and Muhammad of Ghori, and the establishment of Delhi Sultans. Due to this conquest, as well as due to the emergence of new clans or new ethnic groups, the structure means regional structure of India always changing is always changing. So next we will see next, that one is colonial period. We can see the changing regional structure of during colonial period. The period is from 1857 AD to 1947, which is also known as what, British Raj or British period. In their time also we can see some regionalization which were done by Britishers. We were talking about the presidencies in that time. In the Britishers period, there were some presidencies like Madras presidency, Kolkata presidency, then um, Bombay presidency. Then another thing is about next we will discuss about post-independence period, which is from 1947 to till date. In India on independence had British provinces and Indian princely states were there, and but major reorganizations were also that one is noticed on the basis of what, linguistic homogeneity, and the states were formed in that time, means after post independence era. We were discussing in yesterday's class how states were formed after independence on the basis of language, that we were discussing. So now also continuously changes we can see in India, including the creation of Telangana in 2014. Yes, and another one is the reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, means declaration as union territory. Then then if we will see current regional structure of India, then India has how many states and how many union territories?
28 states, 8 union territories.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
28 states and
8
8
union
union territories. Okay. Then boundaries are made for administrative efficiency and convenience, obviously. Then demand for more states are emerging for separate identity and cultural reorganization. Always people are demanding separate states, and also means what, state autonomy. Okay, these are current issues as we have discussed in previous class. କିଛି କିଛି issues ଏବେ ବି ଚାଲିଛି for regionalization or for reorganization. Okay, like that India's regional structure is changing over time. Okay, so next we will discuss about the schemes of regionalization done by different geographers. So come to unit 6. Here we will discuss the schemes of regionalization by different geographers. Okay, so first one we will discuss about the scheme of regionalization of India presented by Baker and Stump. First one is given by what? Baker and Stump. Okay. So, Stamp's regionalization working scheme that was done in the year 1922 to 24, and Stamp introduced a working scheme emphasizing physiographic and climatic factors. He mainly emphasized on what? Climatic factors and physiography of India. So he divided India into three macro level regions. Those are mountain wall. Mountain wall means he is talking about Himalaya mountain. Then another one is what? Northern plain. And then last one is Indian plateau. So he divided India into three macro level regions. Then 22 sub regions. These three macro level regions again further divided into 22 sub regions. Then, and these sub regions are on the based on physiography, climate, and also elevation. Okay, we can see here the sub regions are one is first one is the mountain wall, which is divided into eastern hill region, then Himalayan region, sub-Himalayan region, then Tibetan plateau. Okay, like that. He divided further that macro region, which was mountain wall. Then he divided northern plain region into northern plain region into Punjab plains, then upper Gangetic plain, then middle Ganga plain, then lower Ganges plain or the delta region and Brahmaputra valley. Like that he subdivided this northern plain. Then Indian plateau is again divided into or subdivided into coastal regions, plateau region. Plateau region means Deccan region. Then regions north of Satpura mountain line. Okay, like that he divided whole India into three macro regions and 22 sub regions. Okay. But one thing is important here. That one is Stump avoided or this one is one criticism that he has not written about Peninsular India. Okay, so he avoided the term Peninsular India. He used the term Indian Plateau. Okay, for the region south of Satpura range. The region which is coming in the south of Satpura range, he wrote the term Indian Plateau for that region rather than Peninsular India. That one is one criticism also for his scheme of regionalization. And another criticism for his regionalization scheme, that one is oversimplification. So he oversimplified these regions. These are two shortcomings, or we can say criticism, for his schemes of regionalization. Another one is what? Here, one thing is lacking. That one is socio-economic and environmental condition. So he neglects human factors. He neglects your human factors. He has taken only physical factors here for dividing India into small regions. This is also one criticism. Then another scheme of regionalization is there. That one is given by K.S. Ahmad. Another scheme of regionalization of India by K.S. Ahmad. One thing I want to ask, whether you are getting my point or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next, schemes of regionalization by K.S. Ahmad. Here, K.S. Ahmad's regionalization scheme divides India into four macro level. Okay. Stamp and Baker, they divided India into three macro levels, whereas K.S. Ahmad divided India into four macro level divisions. Okay. Then, what are those four macro level divisions? Those are, as usual, Stamp and Baker's division, and another new division. That one is coastal islands. Okay, so that one is coastal islands or coastal areas. He included in his macro division. Others are like Himalaya mountain, then plateau region. Another one is Indo-Gangetic plain, and the fourth one is coastal area. But here also Ahmad emphasizes the importance of physical features only in his scheme of regionalization. That's why he also faced criticism, and criticism of what? That emphasis is only given on physical factors. That is one. And secondly, he treated coastal plain as a separate geographical unit. And also he lacked cultural, linguistic, and economic factors. He lacked in this scheme of regionalization. So these are some of the criticism for his scheme of regionalization or his methods of regionalization. But Ahmad's scheme serves as a valuable starting point for understanding regional dynamics, but needs recognition of its limitation. Next regionalization scheme, which was done by Pitwala. Another regionalization is done by Pitwala. So Pitwala proposed a regionalization scheme for India in 1930. And his scheme focused on physiographic uniformity. Especially, this one is the important thing in his method of regionalization. That one is he focused on physiographic uniformity. And one thing is that Pitwala's scheme lacks consistency in text. So he lacks consistency in his text, that we can see. Then lacking consistency means what? Any idea? In his methods of regionalization, he lacked consistency in his text. Then what is this? His actually his methods of regionalization, that one is criticized for being confusing and ignoring the featureless nature of plains. Especially for confusing characteristics of his methods of regionalization, that one is criticized. And but Pitwala's he tried to revise that one, means own method of regionalization, but revised one also not popular, or that one is not prominent, because the revised work was also again criticized by different other geographers. So next one is the regionalization scheme by S.P. Chatterjee. Another regionalization scheme or a regionalization method which is given by S.P. Chatterjee. So S.P. Chatterjee's scheme of regionalization was presented in 1947. You have to write there the years, in which year he or she gave that regionalization methods or scheme, that you have to write. So S.P. Chatterjee's scheme that was influenced by the events of the freedom struggle and India's partition. That's why he believed that systematic geography was inadequate to address questions as well as related to political changes, and viewed physical environments. And he gave ninefold physico-geographical regions. So he gave what? Ninefold physico-geographical regions. So initially he divided India into 9 physico-geographical regions based on physiographic characteristics. Those are Himalayan mountain ranges, then Ganga plains, Indian desert, Peninsula India, and another one is Deccan Plateau, then Lava region, and also northeastern region, which is Brahmaputra Valley or Assam region, and another one is hill states. So he divided India into 9 geographical regions. Next one is what? Okay, one thing I want to ask here, what is the Peninsular India? Which part of India is
South part is the peninsula part, ma'am.
south part of India is the peninsula part. Why this is called as peninsula?
Ma'am, the 3 side surrounded with water. If a land is surrounded with water 3 side, then that is known as the peninsula.
Okay, if the land is surrounded by water from its 3 sides, then that is what? Peninsula. So this one is what? The part, peninsula part. So here you can see S.P. Chatterjee. He covered whole India and whole geographical what aspects of India. Okay, so he divided as India as what? Himalayan mountain part, then Ganga plains, Indian desert, Peninsula India, then also Deccan Plateau. Okay, again he gave another region, that one is Lava region. Plateau region means that one only lava region, but again he wrote lava region, then northeastern region, okay, hill states. These are what? Ninefold physiographic regions. These are given by whom? Or these are the scheme of regionalization by S.P. Chatterjee. But what happened? Chatterjee proposed an alternative scheme based on physical and anthropogenic factors. Again, he gave another regionalization that was based on physical and anthropogenic factors. Physical means obviously with physical features, but what is this anthropogenic factors? Anthropogenic means what? Hmm? Anyone?
Human activities.
Human factors. Okay. Acha, human aspects, all human aspects. Okay. So Chatterjee again proposed an alternative scheme based on physical and anthropogenic factors and listing regions such as dry lands, tropical grasslands, tropical rainforest, then monsoon regions. These are what? These are combination of physical and anthropogenic factors. These are also the regions. Then um, uh, due to facing of criticism, that's why he proposed another regions based on fundamental physical factors, including Himalaya mountain region, Ganga plain, Indian desert, Peninsula India, and the coastal plains with Indian islands. What we used to call now as major physiographic divisions of India. There are generally we say that there are 6 physiographic divisions. What we are studying now, actually, these are proposed by S.P. Chatterjee, and but in this regionalization also there are some weaknesses or there are some limitations. Then what are the limitations are here? There are some limitations which are limitations like lack of depth needed for addressing multifaceted challenges in modern times. Only he gave what the physical divisions only he gave in his regionalization, which are lacking human factors. Then next one is again another regionalization or another scheme of regionalization. We can see that one is of R.L. Singh. Another regionalization is here. That one is given by R.L. Singh. So R.L. Singh's regionalization scheme emerged in post-independence India. Okay, he gave his regionalization method in post-independence India. So he emphasized data generation and objective understanding of socio-cultural and economic aspects. So he generally focused on socio-cultural and economic aspects. One thing I want to say here. That he gave his regionalization in the year 1971, scheme of regionalization in 1971, and uh, and on one book, in one book, he gave this regionalization scheme. And what is the name of that book? India, a Regional Geography. In this book, India, a Regional Geography, he placed this scheme of regionalization. and where he classified India into 4 macro regions, 28 mesoregions, and 67 micro or first order regions. So macro regions where they are like Himalayan Himalayan mountain regions, then Great Plain region, then peninsular uplands. Another one is Indian coast and islands. So these are these are the macro regions, and under this some mesoregions are also there, which are 28 mesoregions. So in Himalayan mountain region, like Kashmir region is there, Himachal region, Uttar Pradesh region is there, Eastern Himalaya, Purvanchal region is there. So these are mesoregions under Himalayan mountain macro region. Okay, then some micro or first order regions are also there here. Here all the um, name of the states are mentioned here, like North Kashmir, South Kashmir, or Himachal Himalaya. These are some of the region. Assam, Darjeeling. These are the region, or North Purvanchal, South Purvanchal. These are the region coming under what, Himalayan mountain region. Like that in Great Plain region, Rajasthan plain is coming, Punjab plain is coming, Upper Ganga plain, Middle Ganga plain, then lower Ganga plain, and Assam Valley. These are the major regions under Great Plain region or Indo-Gangetic Plain region. So another one is peninsular region. In peninsular region, some major regions are there, like Gwalior region, then Chotanagpur region, then Malwa region. Means all the plateau region. It is mentioned here in major region. Bundelkhand, Pagelkhand, Vindhya region, Meghalaya region is also coming under here. So these are what peninsula. Sorry, these are the major regions under peninsular uplands. Then then Indian coast and islands. In this macro region, Gujarat region is coming, then West Coast region as well as East Coast region, and also Indian islands are coming. So, like that, he divided whole India into small regions on the basis of physical features that are found in India. Then um, this regionalization scheme also faced some criticism, like errors in including Rajasthan plain in the Great Plains. Rajasthan plain is included in Great Plains, so that one is one criticism, because this one is one incorrect delineation of Indo-Ganga divide. Okay. Uh, so another one is there. That one is regarding coastal plain. Means separation of coastal plain from peninsula upland. That is also one criticism for this regionalization. So next one is regionalization scheme by C.D. Deshpande. Another regionalization is there. That one is by C.D. Deshpande. So C.D. Deshpande's regionalization scheme aimed to provide new perspective on India's regional geography. So he focused on tangible aspects of regional community. Sorry, tangible, not tangible, actually intangible aspects of regional communities. So here we are talking about what? That he focused on intangible aspects of regional communities. Then can you tell me what are these intangible aspects are there? The regionalization done by other geographers that we have seen, they specifically they focused their regionalization scheme on and they focused or they emphasis their main emphasis was on physical aspects only. Okay, but now Sri Deshpande, in his regionalization, he focused on intangible aspects of regional communities. Intangible aspects or factors means the language, then culture, then historical aspects. Okay, what is the meaning intangible?
Ma'am, maybe it's tangible means which are having physical existence. So maybe it doesn't have any physical existence.
Yes, that can't be touched. Yes. So these are the key components, or these are the aspects. On the basis of these aspects, these components, Sri Deshpande done his regionalization. So here also we can say division of India at the macro level, um, and also micro level or measure level divisions. But his regionalization was relied on objective data from governmental agencies actually, and the state and district levels for regional delineation. Uh, so he divided India into 12 major geographical regions and 53 divisions. So mainly he focused on socio-cultural parameters and intangible aspects. But here also some weaknesses as well as some limitations are there in this regionalization. Those are what? Limited physical features. Means lack of emphasis on physical features. That one is one weakness. Then we will come to another scheme of regionalization, that is that one is given by Spate and Learmonth. Spate and Learmonth. So we know that geography studies both physical and human features. But here Spate and Learmonth proposed a scheme based on India's triple tectonic division. Spate and Learmonth, they proposed scheme based on what? Triple tectonic division, with structure as the main factor. What is this triple tectonic division? Any idea? Triple tectonic division means what? Means divisions based on its geological characteristics and plate tectonics. So they divided India into three macro regions. Those are Himalayan region and Indo-Gangetic plain, then peninsular plateau. So as their scheme was based on triple tectonic division. So they described like this Himalayan region as which is result of uplifted of Himalaya due to the due to the plate collision, two plates collision. One is Eurasian plate, another one is what? Indo-Australian plate. Another one, they gave that one is Indo-Gangetic plain, which is a fertile alluvial plain formed of deposition of sediments from the Himalayan rivers. Then the next one is Peninsular Plateau, which comprises peninsula or which consists of ancient rocks and limited tectonic activities. We can see here like that they divided India. Then um, from three macro regions, they again divided 34 first order regions, then 74 second order regions, and 225 subdivisions. These are the regions, or these are the regions which are demarcated by Spate and Learmonth. So the strength of this theory is what? Dividing India based on three tectonic divisions provides a solid foundation, first thing. And the scheme's detailed division into first and second order, then subdivisions. So I mean, it offers a comprehensive coverage. Means in details we can know everything about India from these divisions. And also the emphasis was given on physical features like geological structure, climate, and geographical position also. But here is also some limitations for this theory, that this scheme overlooks socio-economic landscape and focusing primarily on physical features. Means classification based solely on tectonic divisions. So this may not be adequate for India's diverse socio-economic characteristics. That's why this one is one what limitation for their scheme of regionalization. Next, next we will see some macro regions of India and some meso and some micro regions of India. Overally, we will discuss those. So India is often divided into 6 major macro regions based on geographical and cultural factors. This is what overall concept. So what I said, there are 6 major macro regions, and based on what? Geographical and cultural factors. Okay, then what are those 6 macro regions? One is northern India, and in northern India, which is including northern India included here, the states like states or UTs like Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, and others. Next one is southern India. This is also one division, southern India, including states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. Like that, you tell me. Another division is Eastern India. This one is one macro division, Eastern India. Then Eastern India is comprising which states? States like
Ma'am,
Please let
Odisha.
Odisha.
And can we
Chhattisgarh,
consider, ma'am,
Jharkhand.
seven sister?
Yes.
Ma'am, can we consider the seven sister states, or that will come under
No,
North?
no, no. We are talking about Eastern India only.
Then
Northeastern.
it,
That one
okay.
is northeastern part. Okay.
Northeastern part. That's why I asked that northeastern. So can we
Okay, okay,
consider?
okay. So in Eastern India, this one is comprising of what? Comprising Odisha, Bihar,
Bengal,
Jharkhand, and West
Bihar.
Bengal.
Bengal. Hmm.
Yes. Then in Western India, this is also one macro region, Western India. What are the states are here in Western India?
Ma'am, Gujarat,
Ma'am,
Huh?
Gujarat,
Rajasthan,
Rajasthan.
Rajasthan,
Maharashtra and Goa.
Maharashtra,
Goa also. Okay.
Goa.
This is these are what the states which are coming under Western India. Then another one is Central India. Then
Madhya
what are the
Pradesh,
states? Madhya Pradesh, yes, of course, Madhya
Chhattisgarh,
Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. Okay. Then Northeastern India.
ma'am, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh. Sorry, that are UT. Sorry.
Oh, UTs. Sorry, we can consider UTs also here. UTs and
Then
states. Huh.
okay, then Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh,
We are
Uttara,
talking about Northeastern. Then how Ladakh will come here?
Northeastern,
Yes.
Ma'am, Assam,
Northeastern.
Arunachal Pradesh.
All the seven sisters we can say here.
All the seven sisters.
Yes. Okay. So these are what? These are macro regions of India. In general, we are discussing now, or overall, we are discussing by seeing the regionalization of all the geographers. Okay. So these are what? For six macro regions. Now we will come to micro regions of India. Uh, Microregions with distinct cultural, linguistic, and geographical features. These are based on what? Cultural features, linguistic features, and also geographical features. Here are the examples we can discuss. Those are one is Konkan Coast. Which part is called as Konkan Coast?
Goa.
Goa. Okay, means the southwestern region of India. Okay, western region as well as southwest part. So coastal region along the western coast, especially the western coast, and known for its scenic beauty. Okay, and another one is what? It's Konkoni culture. For that, this region is separated or demarcated as Konkon coast region. Then another region is there. That one is Malabar. In which direction of India Malabar is there? Malabar coast. No idea.
Yeah, Kerala and
Yes,
Karnataka.
Kerala and Karnataka, not exactly Karnataka, Tamil Nadu's portion.
It is Mangalore
Yes,
region.
in the southern part of India, known for its spice cultivation and rich cultural heritage. Now we are discussing on the basis of what? Culture, linguistic means characteristics plus geographical features. Okay, so Malabar. Then next one is Doab region. Which one is Doab region? What is the meaning Doab? Doab actually, what is this Doab?
two river having
Eh?
land having two river.
The land, uh, land which is having two water bodies in its two directions. Okay, land in between two rivers. That is what Doab. Okay, so the fertile land between two rivers, often referred to as the Ganges Yamuna Doab in states like Uttar Pradesh, and also so many Doabs we can see in where Punjab. Yes or no?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
Punjab
Yes,
is
ma'am.
named after five rivers: Ravi, Satluj, Jhelum, then Beas and
Chenab,
Chenab.
Bias,
Okay. Huh.
Bias.
Means the land in between two rivers means that one is called what? Doab. Okay, and this land is this Punjab land is a river of five, sorry, state of five rivers. That's why this is called what? Punjab. Punjab. Ab means water. Do means two. Okay. So this Gangesh Yamuna Doab in the states like Uttar Pradesh, that one is Doab region. That one is coming under Doab region. Another one is Kumaon and Kumaon region. Which one is Kumaon region? Kumaon and Garhwal region. This one is one mountain region in Uttarakhand with diverse landscapes and traditions. We can see here. Then Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau. This is one vast plateau we can find in central and southern India. Yes or no? And known for its historical significance also, and also varied topography. Diverse topography also we can find here in Deccan Plateau. Next one is Chota Nagpur Plateau, where it is located or situated. Chota Nagpur Plateau. Yes.
Chhattisgarh. Northern part of Chhattisgarh.
Ma'am, Bihar.
Not Madam Bihar, na? It is in Madhya Pradesh
Jharkhand.
and
Jharkhand.
Jharkhand. Some
Jharkhand.
extent of
Some part of we can say western part of
Yes, ma'am. Jharkhand
West
and
Bengal, and also
Malwa
north part
and
of
Chota Nagpur
Odisha.
is like that only. Jharkhand. Chota Nagpur and Jharkhand.
Yes. Then located in eastern India, known for its tribal communities and also mineral resources. So these microregions contribute to the diversity of India's culture and geography. Okay. Then few more microregions are also there. Those are Rajasthan region. Rajasthan region is known for what generally? Desert region. Another thing is its vibrant art. Yes or no? Rajasthani what dresses we are wearing? Rajasthani handicrafts. These are very popular and famous here in India. So for that, this one is well known. Next one is Mewar region. Which region is Mewar region? Mewar region, a region in southern Rajasthan, famous for its lakes. Then palaces are also there. Okay, so it has some historical significance. This Mewar region. This is also part of what? Rajasthan. Okay, but this one is famous for palaces as well as its historical significance. Then another one is what? Malwa. Which one is Malwa region?
Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, Central India or Madhya Pradesh, located in Central India, known for its historical sites also, and known for culture and agricultural importance also there. Then next one is Konkan region. Again, that already we have discussed. Coastal region of Maharashtra. This one is what? Konkan region, and famous for beautiful beaches and also greenery, lush greenery. Then another region is there. That one is Saurashtra. But which part of India is known as Saurashtra?
Gujarat.
Southern
Gujarat.
part of
Yes, a peninsula in
Gujarat.
that with diverse landscape, including coastal area is there. Arid region is also there. Arid region, which is what northern part of northern and northeastern part of Gujarat. That one is experiencing arid climate. And another one is Kosi region. Which one is Kosi region?
Ma'am, Bihar.
Bihar. Yes, in Bihar, but this one is known for its river and also agricultural significance. So these are micro regions contribute to the rich cultural mosaic of India. Uh, uh, Finally, we discussed what about some of the macro regions based on geographical and cultural factors. Then some micro regions on the basis of cultural, meaning different, distinct culture, language, and geographical features. Then also we have discussed some micro regions on the basis of what? On the basis of mm, cultural mosaic. So I think we have completed this one. So we will go through this once again. Okay. So in schemes of regionalization, first thing we discussed about what the meaning and meaning of this scheme of regionalization. Okay. Uh, already we had idea about regionalization, but schemes of regionalization means methods or approaches of regionalization. Here, here we have discussed about what changing dimensions of India's regional structure, how this one is changing. Because already in sorry, first paragraph, we have discussed that um, shape and size of regions always changes. Then how these are changing, that we have discussed. The factors and processes we have discussed here. In factors and processes, we discussed about wars, as well as migration, and what conquering other lands. Those are the factors. And also we have discussed about origin of regions, how regions originated in ancient period, or how regions started in ancient period. Then from in ancient period, then again these are developed in the period of medieval time. Then next in British period, how new regions were developed, that we have discussed. In colonial period as well as post independence period, how regions were developed, that we have discussed. All these things are related to um, what regionalism and regionalization, which we have discussed in previous classes. All these are interlinked to each other. Then next, also we have discussed about uh, the schemes of regionalization given by different geographers like Baker and Stamp, then also given by K.S. Ahmad. So we have discussed their regionalization process or methods, and also we have discussed here importance of their regionalization plus criticism or the limitations of their regionalization of different geographers. What are the limitations are there? What are the things they lacked in their regionalization process, that we have discussed. And also we have discussed Spate and Learmon's um, regionalization plus evaluation. R.L. Singh's. Anything left that we have not covered here? In glossary, some of the terms are given here and their meanings: delineation, formal regions, functional regions, then heterogeneity, homogeneity, Janapadaj, landscape, macro, micro, meso, natural regions, pan-Indian regions, physiographic uniformity, regionalization, regionalism, spatial supraregions. These are also given here. So you will go through these terms also. Okay, तेबे जहाँ भी हमें डिस्कशन कले किछि किछि आइडियाज हैला कि नहीं ये जो पूरा जहाँ हमर पेपर अच्छी रीजनलाइजेशन ऑफ इंडिया
Yes, ma'am.
टिके आउ भलो से पढ़िया पे पड़िबो आमे डिस्कशन करूथले जहाँ भी रीजियंस कांसेप्ट को पढ़ले देन रीजनलाइजेशन कोन से पढ़िले देन केमती केमती माने रीजनलिज्म रे खाली हमें पढ़ुथले बहुत किछि केमती सब हेच रीजनलिज्म आइडिया केमती इवॉल्व होची एंड आइडिया सहित सहित केमती रीजनलाइजेशन होची केमती से माने फैक्टर्स पढ़िथले और टाइप्स भी पढ़िथले रीजनलिज्म रो आउ थे भलो से देखिया पे पढ़िया पे पड़िबो देन आल्सो स्कीम्स ऑफ रीजनलाइजेशन हम पढ़ले लास्ट रे आउ फाइनली थिला तमरो कोन बाकी ब्लॉक्स मानकर अछि मैक्रो रीजन माइक्रो रीजन एंड मेसो रीजन्स जोटा कि ऑलमोस्ट या भितरे ही कवर हो जाई छी खाली ता सेगुडा फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन ताकू देखिबार अछि तो ताले अल्प बहुत फ्रूटफुल हैला ए क्लास मानकर क्लास जहाँ भी करिछ
आज्ञा मैडम बहुत फ्रूटफुल है ना
ओके ताले एठी जेति की जन सब आज अछंती समस्ते कौन कौन करूछंती समस्ते स्वागतिका स्वाई मैडम एबे कौन करूछंती समस्ते माने कौन डिस्टेंस रे काई करूछंती पीजी
मैम मु तो जॉब करूचे एबे
हां कोडी जॉब करूछंती
मैम स्कूल
को स्कूल रे
मैम प्राइवेट स्कूल रे इंग्लिश मीडियम रे करूची बट मोर टिके एक्चुअली ज्योग्राफी रे इंटरेस्ट थिला बोली मु पीजी पई कली
अच्छा अच्छा माने ऑलरेडी आपनकर अलगा ये रे पीजी अछि
आज्ञा
हां ताले मेन आपनकर जोटा कि पीजी कोथरे ऑलरेडी हेई सारी छी
एक्चुअली मोर बैकग्राउंड एमसीए रो
हां हां
तो मो बीएड भी कंप्लीट हेतला बट मोर कीन इंटरेस्ट ज्योग्राफी पति थिला तो से मोर माने नॉलेज पाई मु करू छी एटा मैम
आउ ताले सिविल पे ट्राई करंतु
आज्ञा मैम
आउ 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 जने अछंती कि हमरा समस्ते पळेलेनी अच्छा सुशीला की अछंती सुशीला घड़ई
Yes, ma'am.
आपण कोन करछंती
मैम मो स्टूडेंट मो पढ़ुचे एबे कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रिपरेशन करछु मोर 2022 रे सरीची +3
+3 अच्छा कोठी +3 कोठी थिला
मोर एठी खोरदा मैम जटनी डिग्री कॉलेज उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी अंडर रे
हा 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 ताले कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम पई प्रिपरेशन चली छी प्लस डिस्टेंस रे पीजी चली छी ज्योग्राफी कोन
आगे
कोर पेपर ज्योग्राफी थिला
नहीं मैम मोर जूलॉजी थिला
ओहो
बीएससी
मींस
आगे
साइंस बैकग्राउंड ओके
आगे
देन अच्छा आउ अछंती जने शुभश्री महांती
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
हाँ गुड इवनिंग
हेलो
कौन
मैम।
करूछंती आपण हाँ
मोर 22 रे बीएससी सरला फिजिक्स रे एबे सिविल सर्विस
अच्छा
में प्रिपेयर होची ऑप्शनल ज्योग्राफी रखिছি तो सेठी में एमएससी कर
अच्छा अच्छा तो ऑप्शनल ले जा माने ज्योग्राफी अछि बोली कि पढ़ा होची तो जहाँ भी पढुछ जति सब पढ़ा हेलानी से सब मु कोनी मो येटा पेपरटा माने बाकी सब सब माने किछि फायदा अछि तो
मैं ऑलरेडी सिलेबस कंप्लीट कर देची बस एबे टिके सेल्फ स्टडी करिनी
रिवाइज
एबे
रिवीजन
करूची
रोज अच्छा
आगे
अच्छा
आगे
हौ
मैम।
आउ अछंती माने के सौम्य रंजन परिडा सर अछंती सौम्य रंजन परिडा नांती संजय कुमार माझी तांको बोले देखली फास्ट आज क्लास रे संजय कुमार माझी माने किछि जण लाइन रे माने रही कि आउ किछि काम करूछंती राकेश महांती
गुड इवनिंग मैडम।
गुड इवनिंग सर आपण
सार नहीं
कोन
मैडम, यू कैन
करूछन
कॉल राकेश।
आज्ञा
मैडम राकेश ही कहबे सार।
अच्छा 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 हो ठीक अछि एठी हमर कोन जेति के सब इग्नोर करूथंती प्राय तो जॉब रे थांती ठीक अछि ठीक अछि ताले कोन एबे कोन चलची कोन
मैडम मु बीएससी और एमएससी कंप्लीट करची कोलकाता यूनिवर्सिटी रे
हां हां हां
फिजिक्स रे।
अच्छा
आ होची मोर स्कूलिंग अधा ओडिसा रो अछि अधा होची महाराष्ट्र।
अच्छा महाराष्ट्र रे कोन की अछंती
हमर हमर बाप माने मो बापा थिले तो सेट पई होची
आ एबे
सेठी हमें
कोठी
पढ़ी।
अच्छा
एबे
एबे कोठी
भुवनेश्वर
छे एबे भुवनेश्वर रे
हाँ।
हां हां कोन एबे चली छी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम पे ना कोन
कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम पई मु होची जॉब करूथली होची ये मार्केटिंग रे सन फार्मर
हां
ए
हां हां
मैनेजर ही अछि।
अच्छा
आ
अच्छा
कॉम्पिटिटिव पई भी प्रिपेयर होची आ
हां हां
एमईटी रो भी एमबीए करची एबे
हां हां
प्रमोशन पई
अच्छा
आ होची ज्योग्राफी रो होची गोटे माने ये अछि अमेजन रो गोटे ये अछि माने ए जंगल सफारी टाइप रो एक अछि सेट पई इंटरेस्ट माने मुलुठी थिला ज्योग्राफी रो
वेरी
सेति भाई
गुड
ज्योग्राफी कली
बहुत बढ़िया
आउ हाँ फोटोग्राफी रो तो अछि सेति भाई एटी रिलेटेड टिके
अच्छा
अछि।
अच्छा ताले बहुत पूरा डाइवर्स माने एम एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स अछि ना कोन
हाँ डाइवर्स कारण जन्म ହେଇଛି ବାହାରେ ଏବେ ଓଡିଶାର ମାନେ ଆସିଲୁ
अच्छा
ଆସିଲୁ ମାନେ ହେଇଲା 6 ମାସ ହେଲା।
हाँ बढ़िया बढ़िया ताले आउ जने अछंती कि हमिदा नंद नालिया
यस मैम मैम प्रणाम।
हाँ कोठी कोन एबे चली छी या सहित सहित
मैम मु लास्ट ईयर ग्रेजुएशन पास आउट ହେଇଛି मैम ओडसपुर ऑटोनोमस
अच्छा
कॉलेज मैम उदयनाथ ऑटोनोमस कॉलेज ରୁ
ओडसपुर एटा माने एफिलिएटेड टू
affiliated to Utkal
को
University मैम।
यूनिवर्सिटी उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी
यस
अच्छा
मैम।
ताले ग्रेजुएशन जस्ट कंप्लीट ହେଇଛି ଏବେ कोन करूछ एमती डिस्टेंस रे पीजी करिया पे पड़ले
मैम मु एक्चुअली यूजीसी नेट ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ୍ କରୁଛି ତା ସହିତ ମୁଁ
अच्छा
କମ୍ପିଟିଟିଭ ପାଇଁ ବି ପ୍ରିପେୟାର ହଉଛି मैम।
ହଁ ତମର କଣ କୋर पेपर କଣ ଥିଲା ପ୍ଲସ୍ 3
मोर
रे?
कोर पेपर ज्योग्राफी मैम।
अच्छा तो तमे रेगुलर रे करिया कथा तमे एमती डिस्टेंस रे काई करूछ?
मैम डिस्टेंस रे एथि प्रिफर करली कि अधिक टाइम दे पारिबी सेल्फ स्टडीज को, से डिस्टेंस रे एडमिशन करली मैम।
हाँ एमती डिस्टेंस रे लागुची तुमको फ्रूटफुल लागुची माने एटा तुमको हेल्प करबा लागुची?
आज्ञा मैम बहुत ही हेल्प करूची मैम।
अच्छा अच्छा ताले तो ठीक अछि तमे यदि मैनेज करि पाउछ डिस्टेंस रे क्लास करिकी इट्स ओके देन बढ़िया। ताले
आज्ञा
आउ
मैम।
जणे अछंती कोन गणेश चंद्र बेहेरा।
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
हाँ गुड इवनिंग।
आज्ञा आज्ञा।
कौन करूछंती कोन को माने एमती एथे डिस्टेंस रे करिवार कोन रीजन कोन?
डिस्टेंस मैम जॉब मु एबे असिस्टेंट टीचर अछि गवर्नमेंट हाई स्कूल रे।
आज्ञा 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 सर ठीक बहुत
हाँ,
बढ़िया। तो माने एबे आपनकर
मु
ऑलरेडी आउ
पीजी
किछि
करथुली
पीजी अछि
एफएमयू
ना माने
ना पीजी करथुली गुटे वर्ष थिला माने जॉब सिलेक्शन हेला तो
हाँ हाँ
रेगुलर करथुनी छाड़ी के आस्ताला।
हाँ हाँ हाँ
हाँ
हाँ
तो जेहेतु छाड़ी के आसे तो पीजी एथि लेक्चरशिप पई जदी हेला तो इन केस।
हाँ बहुत बढ़िया काहे कि नता एबे प्रमोशन पई माने कर नेबा कथा
हाँ
जहाँ भी हेई
प्रमोशन
पारुची
पई
डिस्टेंस मोड रे सब कर नेबा कथा पढ़ी देबा कथा किछि सेमती ये नाही। जो माने भी सब माने पीजी एबे पीजी सरला परे आउ किछि भी नेक्स्ट लेवल पई भी ट्राई करि परिबे सेमती किछि ये नाही।
मैडम
अच्छा
आपण भी कहते आपण विचार
मु
अतिरिक्त बଳ
कौन कहले?
मैडम आपणଙ୍କ विषय भी कहतु समिति विषय जानले आपण हम
अच्छा
आपणଙ୍କ विषय
अच्छा
भी कहतु।
फास्ट थिंग तो मो नाटा इठी शो करथबो एठी लेखा भी हेतबो माने जो जाइथबो एरे स्केड्यूल रे तो मु ची दीप्तिमय नायक मो घर एक्चुअली केउंझर रे मु एबे जॉब करूची माने राजेंद्र यूनिवर्सिटी रे जॉब करूची। तो बस आउ कोन एक्स्ट्रा कोन देबे?
मैडम योर
अच्छा
स्टडी एंड बैकग्राउंड
स्टडी बैकग्राउंड कोन कहबी माने मु तो छोटो रु ही बाहरे रहिली आ नवोदय स्टूडेंट मु हेई भितरे के नवोदय स्टूडेंट अछंती की? नवोदय स्टूडेंट देन बीएड प्लस ग्रेजुएशन थिला मोर इंटीग्रेटेड बीए बीएड थिला आरआई रे देन रेवेन्शा रु बाकी सब स्टडी हैला एमती है कि बस। अच्छा ठीक अछि तेबे क्लास आई थिंक आजी तुम माने लास्ट ला एई सेमेस्टर रो आजी लास्ट क्लास थिला बधे?
आज्ञा मैम आपनकर आउ गोटे क्लास अछि मैम या परे पुणी माने नेक्स्ट आउ गोटे सब्जेक्ट
इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी आई थिंक।
आज्ञा आज्ञा
हाँ ठीक अछि सेटा ठीक रहबो किछि असुविधा नै। तो सेटा तो नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर पई नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर कोन हबो कोन नहीं से तो जणा नहीं एई सेमेस्टर रे भलो से माने टिके प्रिपेयर हेई कि एग्जाम्स देई कि
नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर हेलो मैम गुड इवनिंग।
हाँ गुड इवनिंग।
नेक्स्ट
अच्छा
सेमेस्टर को
हाँ नंदिनी भी अछंती एठी मु नंदिनी को नथिले बदे ना कोन?
मैम सडनली एक्चुअली डिस्कनेक्ट ही कर दी हेतला तो टिके
अच्छा अच्छा
चार्जिंग
हाँ
पई सेति पई।
अच्छा अच्छा
मु
कौन
को
पचारुଥିଲେ?
नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर कोन नेक्स्ट मास रे ही स्टार्ट ही जिवो कि ना हमर से
नेक्स्ट
असाइनमेंट सब हेला
अच्छा
परे
एइटा सेंटर रो माने आपण मानको पाको पळै जिवो नोटिफिकेशन बा आपण मानको पाको इन्फॉर्मेशन जिवो आमे तो बस क्लास करूछु आमे एते आईडिया नाही हमरो सेमती तो या तो सेंटर सहित कनेक्ट कर माने जो ये कथा ही जानतु बेटर रहबो कांटेक्ट करंतु सेंटर को अदरवाइज एमती तो मिल जिवो इन्फॉर्मेशन।
हां हां
नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर केबे स्टार्ट हेबो बा केबे एग्जामिनेशन होची सेंटर कथा ए सब कथा सेंटर रु जानि परिबो।
ओहो
तो एबे आउ किछि नाही बढ़िया से प्रिपेयर करिकि बढ़िया से एग्जाम दियंतु समस्ते ऑल द बेस्ट समस्तंकु। निज माने बिजी टाइम रु टाइम बाहर करिकि जेमते क्लास करूचंती क्लास रे प्रेजेंट रहउचंती बहुत बड़ कथा क्लास रे प्रेजेंट रहि कि जेमते ए माने एते टाइम रहउचंती प्रेजेंट तो सेमती आउ टिके टाइम बाहर करिकि भल से पढ़ा पढ़ी करिकि एग्जाम दियंतु। आउ असाइनमेंट दिया गलानी समस्तंकु?
आज्ञा मैम डिपोजिट हेनी समस्तंकर
अच्छा
हाँ मैडम माने मार्च सरे डेट दे चंदी ना सेति पाई
अच्छा अच्छा मार्च रे डेट दिया है
हार्ड कॉपी टा मिलिनी बोले हमको टिके प्रॉब्लम होची जहा टिके ऑनलाइन रो ही पढिया को पडुची पीडीएफ रो
ओहो
हार्ड कॉपी बही टा मिले टिके इजी होंता पढिया पे इपटिया टिके ऑनलाइन सिस्टम को सब देखि पढिला तो टिके
हाँ
प्रॉब्लम
ସେଇଟା ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେବ ଅନଲାଇନ ରେ ପଢିବା ମାନେ ମୁଁ ବି ପ୍ରିଫର କରେନି ଯେ କିଛି ବି ଜିନିଷ ପଢିବାର ଅଛି ବୁକ୍
ऑप्शन नहीं मैम हम पाखे बहुत एक्चुअली आम आडू बहुत जन जेमती राकेश सर हूँ और जन के जन बहुत जन इनिशिएटिव नहीं बहुत मेल और बहुत ट्राई कर कांटेक्ट करी कॉपी माने बुक पाई तो हमें पाइनु
अच्छा
देखो कौन होची
ଆପଣ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ମାନେ
ଆମ
ଗୋଟେ
ପାଖରେ ତ
କାମ କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି
ସ୍କିଲ୍
ନହେଲେ
ନାହିଁ।
ନିଜେ କିଛି ଜେରକ୍ସ ବା ପ୍ରିଣ୍ଟ ଆଉଟ୍ ବାହାର କରିକି ପଢନ୍ତେ
हाँ करिछु मैम किंतु सब कला पॉसिबल होनी एते एते
अच्छा
पेजेस
हाँ
होची
हाँ
तो
हाँ
किछिदा
हाँ
एथरो किछिदा येरो चलछि एमती
अच्छा
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଏଇ
ଆମର ତ ଅନଲାଇନ ରେ ବି କିଛି ଚାପ୍ଟର ନାହିଁ ଏବେ ଯାବି ହେଲା ଅପଲୋଡ ହେଇନାହିଁ।
हाँ हाँ सेक्टर
ଅନଲାଇନ ରେ ନାହିଁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ନା କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଅନଲାଇନ ରେ ବି କିଛି ହେଲା ମାନେ ପଢା ହେଲାଣି କ୍ଲାସ ସରିଲାଣି କିଛି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ବ୍ଲଗ ନାହିଁ କେନ ଚାପ୍ଟର ନାହିଁ
केतेरा
available
ब्लॉक
ନାହିଁ।
मिसिंग अछि मैडम
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଯଦି କିଛି ବ୍ଲକ ମିସିଂ ଥିବ ମେ ବି ସେଥିରୁ କିଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ନ ଆସିପାରେ ତାପରେ ରିଲେଟେଡ ୟା ସହିତ ଯେମିତି କି ଆମେ ଯୋଉଟା ପଢିଲେ ରିଜନାଲାଇଜେସନ ଅଫ ସରି ରିଜନାଲ ଜିଓଗ୍ରାଫି ଯୋଉ ଅଫ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ଯୋଉ ପଢିଲେ ଏଥିରେ ତ ପ୍ରାୟ ମୁଁ ଯେତିକି ଦେଖୁଛି 5ଟା ଯାକ ବ୍ଲକ ଗୋଟେ ସହିତ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେର ଇଣ୍ଟର କନେକ୍ସନ ଅଛି ଲାଷ୍ଟରେ ଖାଲି ପଢିଥାନ୍ତେ ଆମେ ବାକି ଗୁଡାକ ଯେମିତି କି ମେସୋ ରିଜିୟନ୍ସ ମାକ୍ରୋ ରିଜିୟନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମାଇକ୍ରୋ ରିଜିୟନ୍ସ ଯୋଉଟା କି ମାନେ ଅଳ୍ପ ବହୁତ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କଲେ ଏଇଥିରେ ହିଁ फास्ट 2टा ब्लॉक रे डिस्कशन कर देचंती तेणु कि सेमती किछि प्रॉब्लम हेबोनी एथिरे बाकी या तो मेसेज करंतु कि माने मेल करंतु जदि सेउडा को न रहउची ताले माने क्वेश्चन न दिया जो स्पेशली क्वेश्चन न दिया जाऊ न जाऊ आपण मन को स्टडी मटेरियल ता प्रोवाइड करिया कथा नो कि
मैम
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
मेल
ଲାଗୁଛି
बहुत दिया है
ଏ
हमर
ବର୍ଷ
अछि
ଏକ୍ଜାମ ଦେଇ ହେଉନି ବୋଧେ ସ୍କିପ୍ करते हो
ଇ ଜ୍ଞାନ କୋର୍ସ ଅଛି ନା ଆମର
ସେଇଥିରେ ବି ନାହିଁ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ।
ଆସୁଛି ସେଥିରେ ବି ନାହିଁ
ना
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସେଇଟା ତ ଗୋଟେ ହିଁ
से
ମାନେ
मैम ऐसी जो ज्योग्राफी टा नुआ रे तो सति पई कहि कि बोधे नाही हो
ओहो ठीक अछि जेतिकी मिलिछि सेतिकी माने पढ़ापढ़ी करंतु आपण माने कोन गोटे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप माने जनरेट करिवे कहउतले कोन हेइछि हमरो कहउतले
आज्ञा मैम हेइछि ग्रुप पिला मानकर गोटे हेइछि मैम
अच्छा
काइंडली
अच्छा
अपन जदि आपनकर नंबर टा शेयर करि पारंते हमें आपनको ऐड करी जदि बाई केबे किछि डाउट रहला ताले आपण सेतिरे क्लैरिफाई करि पारंते जदि आपण चाहନ୍ତି मैडम
हाँ किए किछि कहउतले कि ओके तो बेटर रहइबो मु शेयर करूछि एठी जे भी अछंती एडमिन ऐड कर दिथबे
आज्ञा
ପରେ ଦେଖିବା ଯାହା ବି କଣ ହଉଛି मेसेज बॉक्स रे मु गोटे मेसेज ड्रॉप कर देछि
थैंक यू मैम
ठीक अछि तबे क्लास शेष होला आमे एबे रखिबा समस्त फ्री हे जिबा ओके ऑल द बेस्ट समस्त को
थैंक यू मैम थैंक यू मैम
थैंक यू मैम
ओके
थैंक यू मैम
थैंक यू सो मच मैम
थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू